I thought I'd try a new concept of how I make my videos. I've always tried to find epic sites for people who get in contact with me. You know, or Cleggy, do I have a coin hoard on my permissions? So I've always done that kind of thing. So what I thought I would do is look at some of these historical gold coin hoards. Well, not gold coin hoards, maybe silver ones, all sorts of coin hoards I could be looking at. So I thought, yeah, well, I could really show off the full potential of what I can carry out and do with finding these sites for people. So yeah, why not? Well, let's try it, you know, a one-off. So here's my map. The red blotches are scheduled monuments, so they're all scheduled. The pale blue lines are Saxon 100 boundaries. The blue lines are Roman roads, and you can just about see something in there, something else in there, through all this mismatch of well, garbage that's just all over it. Really, well, it's not garbage; it's, you know, high-tech stuff. But let's zoom in a bit, shall we? So this is where this gold coin hoard was found, right there. So we've got scheduled monuments. See the little red ones? If I take them off, put them on, that's scheduled monuments, so it's handy for finding things. We'll take that off for now. We'll take off the Roman roads, like that. We'll take them off. We'll take off the Saxon hundreds. So this red blotches, these are where people have reported finds to the Portable Antiquities Scheme. So this is what's known as a heat map. So the red areas is where lots of stuff has been reported, and the white areas, you know, goes from sort of almost a purple colour to red to orange to yellow to white. So if we zoom out a bit, we could look at Salisbury Plain. Where's Salisbury Plain? There's Salisbury Plain there, look. So if we zoom in on Salisbury Plain, well, this is the military use this site, so there's not going to be much in the way of reporting finds from a military range. You know, you don't want to be digging up bombs, but you know, in the gaps where they're not, where they've not got their military ranges, like you can see here, this is where, this is probably the Lark Hill ranges. I see some of these holes, these white holes. These are craters from artillery shells and so on and such forth. In fact, some of these white patches might be because of me, because I was in the Royal Horse Artillery and we fired live shells to this location. So, you know, I'm diverting away from the main subject at hand. So if we go back to the area, zoom out a bit, come on, there we go. This red star here, this, see, down through here, look, hardly any people have been metal detecting. But right here, strangely enough, where this coin hoard was found, lots of people have been metal detecting. I wonder why. A gold coin hoard. So this is the location right here. I suspect it's probably this bungalow, but I think the name has been changed. So it could be this bungalow or that bungalow. This is a house here. That's a house. So it might have been knocked down and rebuilt into a house, because 1957 is a while back. And in fact, you can see quite a few bungalows, and this one's a house. Oh, no, that one. If we take off the heat map, we don't need that anymore. There we go. So this location right here is where this coin hoard was found, because he was digging in his garden and for the foundations, and found this coin hoard of very valuable coins, or, you know, gold, Roman gold. And this location here is where a bunch of Roman pottery, tiles, that kind of thing was being found. So it might be related to this point here. So is this point here on higher ground compared with there? I could look at that. I can bring up all sorts of things with this program. I could bring up contour lines and heights as well. So we could look at all sorts of things. Now I'm going to zoom out a bit, and I'm going to go take it off this map, satellite, and now look, I'm onto a 1885 map. Look at that. This is an 1885 map. Here it says something, oh, too far in, blah blah blah, something Chantry House, formerly a college. So look, so his house, this is back in 1885, there were no houses there, none at all. So is there any place names nearby, for example Silver Street? I wonder why it's called Silver Street. Did they find a lot of silver there? So if we take that map off, put that one back on, so if we zoom around a bit, now over here it says brick pit. So this could be the reason why this coin hoard was found, because I think there's a pretty strong relationship between pottery kilns and coin hoards, especially really nice ones. So this one here, it says brick pit. So that would have been a pit for digging the clay out to make pottery. I can't find, I've had a good look on all the sort of historical places where you can look for information regarding these kinds of places, and I can't find anything particular. So what we'll try now is we'll try LIDAR. So I can put on some LIDAR, like so. What can we see in the landscape? Well, for one thing, we can see a lot of Roman field systems. See these sort of strange marks? See them? Look, these are all Roman fields. They look like that. These sort of like edges like that. This is what Roman field system looks like. There's loads of it all over the landscape. Look. A better one is, that's LIDAR. I'll put it on my slope algorithm. It really shows it up even more. So you can see all these Roman field systems. Right, so before we get into this, let's go and have a look at the literature on this coin hoard. So here we are, we're on the Heritage Gateway, and this coin hoard was found, we are 34 Uri, was unearthed by Mr. Brian Hollands, the landowner, in 1957 in digging the foundations for his bungalow called Treasure Trove. Well, I think it's probably now, well, back then it was renamed Treasure Trove, in Gore Road, Bridger. It contained 1 Julius Caesar coin, 12 I can't even pronounce that, 17 Triberius, and 1 Nero denarius, and 3 Claudius. So, you know, it's pretty useful, this site. Look, it gives you the grid reference. There we are, there's the grid reference. It only really gives you the grid reference on historical hoards. And considering it's in someone's garden, you're not going to get too many people knocking on his door. So this is the chap who found the coin hoard in his garden whilst digging some foundations. So this is the whole map in 3D. You can see that this is where the villa, supposedly a villa, was found, and this is the coin hoard. You can see that the village is on a little bit of a ridge, nothing really substantial. If we zoom around a bit, there's some hills in the background, look. So here, where the coin hoard was found, there's a little bit of a dip. Now, Romans, if you want to find a Roman house and in the landscape, you just cycle round, or I cycle round, drive round, and just look for the best view you can find, because Romans liked a good view. So as we can see, if we scroll around this way, here we've got quite a nice view looking up, so that the coin hoard was there, but then the villa is here. So it's a little bit of a ridge coming through, and the ridge the village is on. So this is probably why the villa is situated here. So it's situated here probably for the view. And you can see that this field here is on a bit of a ridge. It's higher up this field. So what we want to do now is we want to look for areas where the ground is a bit higher, because this field here potentially could be good for more coin hoards. Here we go. You can see it's on a, this is, the village is on a bit of a ridge, and then it kind of dips down a bit and then it goes up. So it's quite flat here. I've had to raise the that you can raise up the hilliness of the hills. I've had to raise it up quite a bit just to show you that the possibility of slightly raised ground. So I think this field here has got a lot of potential, because it looks as if it's the sort of highest place in the village. You see it? It's kind of raised up and then comes down, and then we've got like, it kind of raises up here with a bit of a plateau. So these fields here, I think potentially are the ones we should be looking at with the LIDAR for other potential hoard sites. Wow, these field systems in this field are really old. If we look at the 1888 map, you can see that these lines follow those ancient field systems. We take that off, you see it? It follows. So those hedge lines are really old, because if we look elsewhere and zoom out, and then we come over to this area, so this is the, I'll put the 1888 map back on. You can't see any hedges here, and yet the fields, you can see the Roman field systems in there, even though you can't see it on the 1888 map. Look, so these field systems are really old. You can see it in multiple places. It just doesn't quite match up, but it does in this field. So this is a really old field. And they match up in some places, but not in others. So yeah, this field system right here potentially could have some hoards on it. Right, if we put it back on the ordinary LIDAR, you see it? See how, look at the height of the mounds. They're really high. So these have the greatest potential, methinks. Right, let's go and put some contour lines on this just to see the height of these fields around, because you know, what we want is we want the highest point possible, and sometimes where it kind of goes around where there's water, I'm going to see if I can find my river map and put that on to show off where the rivers are. I suspect this bit coming through here might be a river. I don't know, I'm not sure. But we'll put on the water just so we can see where the villa is in relation to where the water is, because they would have needed water. Let's face it, they would have needed water for making pots and pans and stuff and tiles. So we will put the water line on just to see where it is in relation to the villa and the coin hoard. Right, I put some contour lines on, but unfortunately it's all gradually sloping up, so it's difficult to read it. But I would, if I was a betting man, this area here could be good for a hoard, and potentially this bank through here, I think, because it looks as if it's slightly higher than the other side. So there's 96, look, and there's 97, so this bank I think is higher. We zoom right in, yeah, 98.1, 97, so it's 97, and then it's sloping up, so it's tricky. It's really tricky. But you're looking for anything that looks a little bit, let's take the numbers off. Right, I've taken the numbers off, So anywhere where there's kind of a bump, potentially right there could be a potential coin hoard site. Here, along through here and here. Like, I'm going to go over to Google Earth in a minute and have a look at the crop marks, just to see if we can see any crop marks in this field. But I did notice up here, hit this, see this double area? We've got two areas together, and then right there you've got either a high piece of ground or a pit. And then it could also see as if there might be something in there. So I'm going to check these two areas now for crop marks on Google Earth. Right, I was looking around the area. So here's the area, and unfortunately got some sort of problem with multiple pictures here. But there are some strange looking marks in there. You know, there are some sort of blobbiness, and that actually was a pit, so I'm suspecting it's a pond, old pond. But as I was looking around the area, because I was thinking, oh, I can't see anything, I was searching around, you know, looking at different fields, looking for potential spots, and there's kind of stuff going on in the locality. And I was searching around, and I came over here, and I went down onto this part of this field here. Where's it gone? I had it a second ago. Ah, found it. It's funny, when I want to find it, I can't find it, and when I do, when I'm just sort of searching around, I find it. So right there. Now this is the sort of thing you need to look for. Look, you see that? That's a building in there. See the rooms? You've got rooms in there. And I've checked it out, and it's a 16th century manor house right there. And a gold coin hoard was found there, strangely enough. Yeah, a gold coin hoard was found there. So you can see possibly bits of the gardens or whatever. So a manor house was probably found there. Now, normally, in relation to a manor house, you get a church. Normally it's quite close by, so there should be a church near to this point, and I can't see a church anywhere, because manor houses are normally quite close to churches. You can see some other crop marks in there, but when I saw that, I thought I had a Roman villa. I really did. So what you're looking at here is when there's stone close to the surface, it stops moisture coming up, so the crops are stunted. And where there's a ditch and there's loads of moisture, the crops are greener. This is how crop marks work. So yeah, this is a 16th century, probably might not be a manor house or a 16th century house, but that's what that is. And that's the sort of thing, I thought, oh my God, I found a villa, but it's not. It's just an old manor house. I checked it out. So yeah, this is the sort of thing you need to do. Let's go over to my program. There it is there, look. You can see all this. That's showing me that there's a building in there, because the sides have been pushed up, look. Pushed up, and then you've got square features in there. So when I'm searching around the landscape and I see something like that, I automatically know, because it was close to me where this hoard was found. So that's what you want to look for, this sort of ground disturbance. So yeah, I was thrown for a minute. So potentially there could be a hoard near to where this hoard was found, but nothing is really grabbing me at the moment. You know, these banks here, the reason why a bank where you put your money is called a bank is because they used to bury their money in earth banks. So potentially there could be a hoard on this bank here, because it is the biggest one in that field. this one possibly also. See how it's sloping? You've got more of a slope. So this is a potential site. And just looking there, see some strange feet marks in there. But that field over here, that's right on the edge of my DTM. See how uneven the ground is there? Look. That's telling me that there's something epic in there, and as it turns out there is. And also a gold coin hoard was found, you know, so, but not an old coin hoard. Yeah, coin hoard, a 1627 coin hoard, so Charles I. Charles I coin hoard, you know, was found, a gold coin. 17th century hoard of gold coins, lovely. So this is what I do to find locations for people. So I thought what I would do is just carry on doing this, and we could just go through and research all the best coin hoards in the country. What do you think? Put it in the comments below if you like this concept, and I'll do another one. Cheers!